So I wanted to kind of show you, take the opportunity to show you some of the ways that I spec out some of the rods that I have, and why I use certain rods for certain reasons, and what kind of baits I use with those rods. I had a couple of questions about some of the reels and some of the rods that I use, and you really have to be conscious of like how you pair up your rod and your reel. As an example, this is a jerkbait rod. Now this is a little bit heavier than your standard bass jerkbait rod. This one is spec'd out for some of these bigger jerkbaits like Smithwick Perfect 10s, Rapala X-Wraps, and Rapala Husky Jerks HA14s. These are some of your larger jerkbaits. I found with like a bass, your standard bass tackle, even with one that was technique specific to jerkbait, it just wasn't big enough to handle some of these baits. So I actually made this rod, and this is a 6'6" heavyweight fast action rod. It'll handle anything up to 1 ounce lure. You want 6'6" only because you're operating on a boat and the techniques that you're using. The particular reel I have here, this is a Daiwa reel. This is actually it's a 7.3-to-1, so it's a pretty quick retrieve on here. I fished with this on a jerkbait rod for a while, and I'm totally successful with it, and I like it. The next rod I'm going to show you, this is another one that I made. This is called the Big Crank. As you can tell, it's for bigger crankbaits. I wanted something that wasn't quite a musky pool stick, and it wasn't quite bass tackle. So I had spec'd this rod out. This is actually a 7'8", extra heavy, moderate fast, 15 to 30 pound test, 5/8 to 2 ounce. The reason I did that is I like to run kind of larger crankbaits. This is Rapala Super Shad Wrap, pretty stout bait, pretty big. Need something a little bit heavier to run these. Also, when you're choosing a reel, this is a round reel, a conventional Corvallis, Shimano Corvallis. It also has a kind of a slower retrieve on it. It's I believe it's a 5. It's like a 5-1-to-1. A little bit slower. This is a Rapala F18. This is another one of the baits I'm going to be running with this particular type of rod. Again, larger bait, better for to have something with a little bit more punch on it. This is Mitsuo. This is one of their Pike baits. Came out last year. This is actually a larger version of the X-Wrap. This is a saltwater version. You can get pretty much most of the same colors. You can get them from Rapala. I like running this for Pike and Muskie because they're pretty tough baits, especially with these saltwater grade hooks. This is my spoon rod. This one I didn't make. This one's actually a Bass Pro Shops. This is a telescoping rod, meaning that the rod actually collapses in on itself for ease of travel. So when I go up to Canada, this rod and one of my walleye rods will be the only thing that'll go with me. This is a 7'6". It'll handle up to a 2 ounce lure, which is important, especially if you go up into Canada in the fall and you're fishing big spoons. Big spoons like the Dr. Spoon. This is a go-to if you go north, and even down here this thing works great. The American staple, the old Daredevil. This is actually a 1 ounce version. And then also, one of my personal favorites and what I've caught a lot of fish on is the Johnson Silver Minnow. The Johnson Silver Minnow, I like to tip it with a little bit of an attractant, and the last time I fished with this one I used a squiggly tail plastic here. Thanks for watching the video. Go ahead, like, share, comment on the video. Let me know what you think. Thanks.